Hey, Maggie here again, and like I told you in the first part of this story in the previous video, this story just keeps on giving. So, buckle up for the grand finale of the Alex saga. Now, I'm not usually one to hold grudges, so I did email his sisters to let them know I missed them and see how they're doing, despite what happened with Alex. Turns out, Alex had told his family I broke up with him because of the distance. I forwarded them some choice emails from Alex after we broke up, where he was telling me about how he cheated on me and that he can't communicate with me because I'm not academically up there yet, blah blah blah. And let's just say, family dinners probably got a lot more awkward after that. So, through the grapevine, aka Alex's siblings, I heard that Alex and Emily tied the knot and popped out a couple of kids. Emily decided the world of science wasn't for her and became an accountant. Alex, he went back to breeding animals. I guess old habits die hard, huh? It had been almost 10 years since our breakup, but I stayed pretty tight with Alex's siblings over the years. We'd grab lunch, text, the usual. I totally had a special bond with them unrelated to Alex, so yeah. I couldn't cut them off or anything. One day, I sent a wedding gift to one of Alex's sisters. Apparently, this set Alex off something fierce. At a co-ed bridal shower. Yeah, I know. Who even has those? But remember, it was around a decade ago, so. Anyways, he started whining about how all his siblings were still my friends and didn't embrace his precious Emily. His sister, though? She just laughed and said, I don't make it a habit to be friends with homewreckers. That's how Alex's parents found out the real story of how our relationship ended and theirs began. 10 years after the lies Alex told. Talk about delayed justice. The best part? Alex never found out I was the one who reported him to the state. In the end, I didn't lie about a single thing. Well, maybe I exaggerated that fake drunken makeout session with Tom a tiny bit. But hey, a girl's gotta have some fun, right? Oh, and Tom? He's doing great. Tenured professor, lovely wife, adorable daughters, living his best life, Life went on, as it does. I got my master's degree and, ironically enough, ended up specializing in helping scientists communicate their work to general people. You know us dummies who can't remember all the scientific names. Life has a funny way of working out, doesn't it? Fast forward about 20 years, which is now. A few weeks ago, I found myself in front of a room filled with 250 undergrad and grad students, delivering a lecture at a prestigious university. It was one of those moments where life felt full circle, and I was in my element, sharing knowledge, receiving nods of approval from the eager crowd. As the session ended, students gathered around me, eager to ask questions, and I was happily mingling. And then, from somewhere in the crowd, I heard it, a voice that cut through the buzz. Hey Maggie, long time no see. For a split second, time seemed to stop. That voice, it was unmistakable. I turned slowly, my face neutral, refusing to betray the shock stirring inside. Standing there as if materialized from the past was Alex. My heart raced, but I didn't let it show. I wasn't about to give him the satisfaction of knowing he'd thrown me off, so I did what instinct told me. I played dumb. I'm sorry, I said coolly. Help me out? Have we met at another workshop or lecture? His face fell, completely incredulous. It's me, Alex. I stared blankly. I couldn't give in. Not yet. I'm sorry, I can't place you, but I'd love to figure it out, I responded, feigning confusion. Then, after a dramatic pause, I gasped. Oh my goodness, Alex, I exclaimed, finally allowing myself to acknowledge him. I guess I blocked you out. The look on his face, priceless. I didn't need to say any more. He knew. I knew. And that was enough. Well, lovely to see you, I added casually, not missing a beat as I quickly turned away before he could make any further attempts to reconnect. As he awkwardly tried to extend his arms for a hug, I was already moving on. There was something deeply satisfying about that moment. He was sitting in the audience of a science department at a major university, while I was the one standing in front of the class as a guest lecturer. A silent victory, and that was all I needed. Later at dinner with the faculty, I found out Alex was there interviewing for a teaching position. I couldn't help but scoff. When they asked why, I told them everything about his past indiscretion. The looks on their faces told me Alex's job prospects had just taken a nosedive. And remember my old friend Linda? She's retired now, but still keeps in touch with her former colleagues. Well, she called me up this weekend with some piping hot tea. Apparently someone had called the university doing a background check on Alex. When they pulled his file, it was like opening Pandora's box of past misdeeds. The file had everything: his firing, leaving the program with a lower degree, and those complaint letters from over 2 decades ago. Linda's name was on it too, along with her husband as the faculty advisor. But the cherry on top, a copy of his arrest record for those illegal animals was in there too. Seems like Daddy Dearest had shelled out for a fancy lawyer to get the record expunged after Alex paid his fines. It doesn't show up on standard background checks, but the university has all those records, and this wasn't your average Joe doing the digging. I'll give you 3 guesses whether Alex is getting that job, and the first 2 don't count. As I slip into my size 10 jeans, which by the way look fabulous, I can't help but feel a sense of contentment. The universe has a funny way of evening the score, especially if you give it a little nudge now and then. If there's anything I've learned from this wild ride, it's this. If someone who claims to love you starts nitpicking about your weight or looks, that's their problem to fix, not yours. It might be time to check what they're hiding, or simply walk away with your head held high. Remember, their criticism is a reflection of their flaws, not yours. If Alex had just been mature enough to end things honestly instead of trying to make me the bad guy, who knows? I might never have uncovered his shenanigans with Emily. So here's to living well, embracing your beautiful self, and letting karma do its thing. Sometimes, the best revenge is just sitting back and watching the dominoes fall. And if you happen to give those dominoes a little push, well, that's just the icing on the cake.